Now imagine Donald Trump sitting in the Situation Room, making life or death decisions on behalf of the United States. Imagine him deciding whether to send your spouses or children into battle. Imagine if he had not just his Twitter account at his disposal when he's angry, but America's entire arsenal. Do we want him making those calls? Someone thin-skinned and quick to anger who lashes out at the smallest criticism. Do we want his finger anywhere near the button? What happens to the moral example we set for the world and for our own children if our president engages in bigotry? And by the way, Mr. Trump, every time you insult American Muslims or Mexican immigrants, remember that plenty of Muslims and immigrants serve and fight in our armed forces. It also matters when he makes fun of people with disabilities, calls women pigs, proposes banning an entire religion from our country, or plays coy with white supremacists. America stands up to countries that treat women like animals or people of different races, religions, or ethnicities as less human. So it really matters that Donald Trump says things that go against our deepest held values. It matters when he says he'll order our military to murder the families of suspected terrorists. During the raid to kill bin Laden, when every second counted, our SEALs took the time to move the women and children in the compound to safety. Donald Trump may not get it, but that's what honor looks like. This isn't reality television. This is actual reality. He has no idea what he'd do to stop ISIS. Just look at the few things he's actually said on the subject. He actually said, and I quote, "Maybe Syria should be a free zone for ISIS." Oh, okay. Let a terrorist group have control of a major country in the Middle East. Then he said we should send tens of thousands of American ground troops to the Middle East to fight ISIS. He also refused to rule out nuclear weapons against ISIS, which would mean mass civilian casualties. It's clear he doesn't have a clue what he's talking about, so we can't be certain which of these things he would do. But we can be certain that he's capable of doing any or all of them. Letting ISIS run wild, launching a nuclear attack, starting a ground war. These are all distinct possibilities with Donald Trump in charge. And through all his loose talk, there's one constant theme: demonizing Muslims and playing right into the hands of ISIS. His proposal to ban 1.5 billion Muslims from even coming to our country doesn't just violate the religious freedom our country was founded on. It's a huge propaganda victory for ISIS, and it alienates the very countries we need to help us win in this fight. A Trump presidency would embolden ISIS. I believe he will take our country down a truly dangerous path. He says he has foreign policy experience because he ran the Miss Universe pageant in Russia. He says climate change is a hoax invented by the Chinese. And he has the gall to say that prisoners of war like John McCain aren't heroes. Exactly. He also said, "I know more about ISIS than the generals do. Believe me." You know what? I don't believe him. He has said that he would order our military to carry out torture and the murder of civilians who are related to suspected terrorists, even though those are war crimes. He says he doesn't have to listen to our generals or admirals, our ambassadors and other high officials, because he has, quote, "a very good brain." We cannot put the security of our children and grandchildren in Donald Trump's hands. We cannot let him roll the dice with America. This is a man who said that more countries should have nuclear weapons, including Saudi Arabia. This is someone who has threatened to abandon our allies in NATO, the countries that work with us to root out terrorists abroad before they strike us at home. He believes we can treat the U.S. economy like one of his casinos and default on our debts to the rest of the world, which would cause an economic catastrophe far worse than anything we experienced in 2008. This is not someone who should ever have the nuclear codes, because it's not hard to imagine Donald Trump leading us into a war just because somebody got under his very thin skin. He is not just unprepared. He is temperamentally unfit to hold an office that requires knowledge, stability, and immense responsibility. Donald Trump's ideas aren't just different. They are dangerously incoherent. They're not even really ideas, just a series of bizarre rants, personal feuds, and outright lies. And like many across our country and around the world, I believe the person the Republicans have nominated for president cannot do the job.
Lying, crooked Hillary. Love to say. Because she is a liar. She made up my foreign policy. Donald Trump is going to do this. I said, I never said that. Then Donald Trump is going to do that. And a friend of mine was in the room and said, you never said you're going to do that. I said, that's right. She makes it up. And crooked Hillary said, oh, Donald Trump, his finger on the button. I'm the one that didn't want to go into Iraq, folks. And she's the one that stupidly raised her hand to go into Iraq and destabilize the entire Middle East. We don't win anymore. We're going to start winning. We're going to win with our military. We're going to knock the hell out of ISIS. We have no choice. We're going to knock the hell out of them.